Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, A2DRadio.com proudly brings to you its Hockey Podcast Champions of the World! The Road Dog, Matt Sensudi, the Badass Rob Povia, the B to the D to the A to the L to the E to the Y. We are the New Age Outlaws! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I always wanted to be a part of them.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey, and we are brought to you by the Scanzano Sports Center. They're located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back. We have got a lot to talk about today. The World Cup is in full swing. We were talking about the prelims last week. Week 1 has officially begun, and let's just say it's been a thrill ride since day 1 of this World Cup action. Gentlemen, how you feeling right now?
I'm excited, man. First of all, I always love being called a badass because it's truth, and and B, coming off of that game last night, North America versus Team Russia, man, that has to be one of the best hockey games I've ever watched from beginning to end. You know, Russia in true fashion pounced on a younger, North American squad, and then watching those kids battle back and darn near tied it in the last minute. This World Cup, you could call it gimmicky all you want. It's what hockey needs. It's great for attraction to the sport across the world. And if you're not going to be doing so in the Winter Olympics anymore, having its own platform, kind of a la what baseball did with the World Baseball Classic, this is something that already I knew we were in store for a treat. We're getting that treat. The World Cup of Hockey is back and here to stay, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope it's here to stay. It's been very entertaining so far, the couple games that I've gotten to see. A lot of sleepers so far. A lot of teams underachieving. USA. But Team North America, man, that has been what a fun team to watch.
Yeah, it's been a really fun, exciting tournament already, and we've only just begun. The groups have only had their first 2 games, so it's already exciting. One other thing, though, that I want to point out, that this is the first time the World Cup's been happening since 2004. 2004. Really? It took them this long to get the World Cup back up and running. And I get it. They were playing in the Olympics, but they were playing in the Olympics back then, too. So what's the difference? My opinion, I'm happy to see it back. By the way, Canada won the last one, so that kind of hopefully does not happen again.
Well, they're not winning this one either.
But also the MVP of that tournament was Vinny Lecavalier, so things have changed, to say the least. But anyway, yes.
Just real quick note, 3 o'clock today, about 27 minutes from now, Finland will be taking on Sweden.
Yes, Finland will be taking on Sweden in a Group B matchup. Finland's current record right now, they are sitting at an 0-1-0 record with a -3 goal differential for 0 points in the standings. And they will be taking on Sweden, who are leading the group, who are 1-0 with no OTLs and with 2 points to their name as they came off of a victory against Team Russia 2-1. Finland coming off of a loss to Team North America 4-1. So this should be an interesting contest.
I'll try and keep us updated on this game, too.
Cool. Awesome.
I think it was really impressive about that Team Sweden's win over Team Russia 2-1, doing it without Henrik Lundqvist in that game. I mean, this goes to show, Brian, your assessment of Team Sweden as being one of the stronger teams in this tournament. Winning. We saw what Team Russia could do last night against a team that a lot of people have been high on. I've been high on. They're my pick to win this tournament in Team North America. I mean, that speaks volumes for Team Sweden's squad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying Team Sweden might be one of the more complete teams, and they're showing it. And I feel like once they get started, no one's really going to be able to stop them.
No, you're right, actually. Not many people are going to be able to stop them in that regard. And the funny part is, too, is that now Sweden walks into this game tonight against Finland. They had actually played Finland, of course, in the pre-tournaments phase. They beat them 6-3. So Sweden does have a pretty good track mark against Finland, at least this team. So it should be interesting. But don't let the Finns fool you. They did actually manage to beat Sweden as well in a 3-2 OT victory. But that was in the prelims.
Right.
Now it's in the group stage matches. So teams are going to heighten up their play a little bit.
If Team Europe has shown anything, they've shown that the prelims were just an opportunity to fool everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, Team Europe sucks. We don't have to take them seriously. Yeah, they just rope-a-dope the whole tournament because they've come up with hellfire and brimstone, winning their first 2 games, one in very convincing fashion, as we alluded to, the 3-0 whitewashing of Team USA, and then battling a really desperate Team Czech Republic that really needed that win. They did get an overtime point, but still winning that game in overtime. I think that's pretty much sealed up Team Europe's trip to the next round. I think it's going to be the rest of the Group A competing for who's going to be joining Team Europe.
Yeah, at this point in time, it's going to be a really interesting battle. And by the way, 8 o'clock tonight, matchup between Canada and Team USA. A must-win for Team USA. There's no if about it. You have to win this game tonight. You win in regulation and only win in overtime if it's absolutely necessary. Win in regulation. Give Canada absolutely no points. Take 2. Tie them. Go ahead of the Czech Republic in the standings because the Czech Republic they're pretty much screwed right now. They took 2 losses they could not afford, and they got to go up against Team USA at the very tail end. That might actually benefit Team USA if they can manage to get a win over Canada and then face Team Czech Republic and kind of pick the bones of everything, of what everybody else is left behind on Team Czech Republic.
Sure.
They could actually jumpstart, and hopefully Canada loses to Team Europe, and there you go. Canada winds up being the one that takes the early leave, and the USA sneaks in with Europe. That would be crazy if that actually happened, if Canada wound up getting eliminated in the group stage.
Yeah, I mean, Team Czech, they're in desperation mode now. And they're going to be showing it when they play on Thursday, when they play Team USA. It's a must-win for I mean, I don't think there's any way that they can get on to the next round from here. Looking at the schedule, today you got Team Finland versus Sweden, and then Canada and USA at 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow you got Team North America versus Sweden and Team Europe versus Canada. And on Thursday, you got Team Finland versus Russia and Team USA versus the Czech Republic. Unless a miracle happens, the Czechs going home.
Oh, yeah. Their fate was sealed the moment they lost that game to Team Europe. They needed to win that game.
Yeah, Saturday, September 4th starts round 2, so the Czech are probably going to wind up going home. And it's a shame because there's some talented players on that roster, but they didn't show up to the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, one Peter Mrazek stood on his head trying to keep, and he did keep Team Czech Republic in that game against Team Europe. But overall, you look at the goals for and the goals against, 2 goals for, 9 against. That's going to hurt their chances. I mean, the ultimate tiebreaker in this seeding is the head-to-head matchup between them. But if it's a 3 or 4-way tie, here's the steps. Step 1, total points. 2 points for any win, 1 point for any overtime or shootout loss. Step 2, regulation OT wins, not including shootout wins. Step 3, regulation wins, total regulation wins only. Step 4, goal differential. As I said before, they definitely are suffering in that category. And then finally, step 5, total goals scored for. Very similar to the way they do it in the NHL. I like that not only do you get the rules and regulations per the rink size, but you're actually utilizing NHL rules for 2 things. One, I like it a hell of a lot better than international play anyway in that regard. I just love the aspect of countries battling each other.
Depends on the level.
Right. Absolutely does depend on the level, Brian. And number 2, these guys are getting ready. This is like the beginning of their camp. Mm-hmm. So you want to get acclimated to the rules and regulations of play of the NHL. Like, throwing out different things, I think, would really set up the NHL as a whole for failure.
Yeah, that would be an interesting situation right there if you tried to do it in the opposite fashion. But luckily enough, though, they do have what they need to make this tournament actually run pretty smoothly. What I really like, though, from what I've seen from Czech Republic, though, I was happy to see Jake Voracek score a goal, which hopefully I'm hoping, it may be a bit of a reach, but I am hoping that is a sign of things to come for the regular season for Philadelphia. If he can work off of that, it's like, okay, you scored a goal in the World Cup, take that to the preseason with you, and because let's face it, Czech Republic's not going to the tournament, and then take it to the regular season. Build. Let's go here, because you know what? That better not happen what we saw last year.
You know, watching that goal live, it looked like the Jacob Snake of old coming in, crossbody, nice twisted wrister, and really how he almost like throws up like a knuckleball with it. He doesn't have the flex that most players have with his wrist shot. He actually comes over the puck with it. It just really makes it tough for the goaltender to get a gauge where that flight of the puck is going. Man, on top of seeing Jake Voracek score there, you know, the one aspect that I missed of hockey being on ESPN is John Buccigross. He's awesome. I love him, you know, announcing for these games and, you know, calling that the twisted wrister. Like, I got the hair on the back of my neck standing up. I could do without the chicken parm references. Yeah, Ray Ferraro isn't on your team of broadcasters. That's so like 1998, you know, the last time ESPN covered hockey, so, or predating even that. So, you know, I don't know. But, I mean, I was good to hear the twisted wrister, though. That was pretty cool.
I do like John Buccigross. Steve Levy has been pretty good, too, from what I've heard from him so far.
Yep.
Well, it's been interesting because you were wondering, how is ESPN going to cover hockey? Because it's been a long time since they actually did. It had been a very long time. I think the last time they did, the Stanley Cup champions were the where was it really?
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it was the Tampa Bay Lightning. That was like the last time.
Oh, they did it all the way to 2004?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when they came out after that break is when ESPN broke the contract with the NHL, and the NHL went over to Versus or the NBC Sports Network now.
Yeah, and then that was because you could tell the shift there because then Carolina had won the Stanley Cup and moved on from there. Speaking of Ray Ferraro, but anyway.
Yeah, right.
The former franchise that he was known for. But anyway, it's been a real interesting tournament so far, though. But one thing I will point out, though, is I'm actually completely appalled with how USA has played so far. You know, like getting shut out by Europe 3-0, I get that. Europe does have a strong goaltending core. You know, that was one thing we pointed out earlier in the tournament. It has Yaroslav Halak, who is a phenomenal goalie by every stretch of the imagination. He stands on his head every time he plays. You know, they don't have a bad goal tandem setup. They also have Thomas Greiss to go along with it. So you're looking at it from those angles. That's not a bad goaltending tandem right there. So that doesn't surprise me 100%, though. But what really doesn't make me feel all that comfortable is the U.S. really just laid an egg. It wasn't like these goals came off of taking bad penalties. These goals happened on even strength. So if you can't handle what Europe's bringing you on even strength, how the hell are you supposed to handle what Canada's supposed to bring you?
True.
You know, Europe is not supposed to be on your level, or at least that's not what the prelims were supposed to say. So why didn't you act like they weren't on your level?
You know, we saw a great defense from Team USA in the preliminary. I mean, you know, not in the preliminary rounds, you know, in the pre-tournament games, right? So in the prelims, yeah, I was right when I said that. Why do I second guess my anyway? And you didn't see that. It kind of like they played very poorly defensively in that first game. And I think they just took Team Europe for granted. You know, and
I think so too.
You know,
I mean, I said this last week. I really don't see Team USA being anything special in this entire tournament. I said it last week. They play well in the prelims, and after that, they don't show up. When it comes to the time to actually play and actually mean it, where are they?
Yeah.
And the game against Team Europe, again, proves my point.
You know what it is? It's John Tortorella's team.
Yeah.
With all his whole history with the New York Rangers proves it. Dominant team during the regular season, and they absolutely shit the bed come playoff time because they did it every single year. It was...
Well, I mean, it's not even just in this tournament. It's in all of them, too. I mean, the IHF juniors, Team USA tends to disappear.
Well, Yeah, in the
Under
World
17,
Juniors,
Team USA tends to disappear.
They have been stepping up, though, in the World Championship, oddly enough. I mean, USA's actually medaled in the last 2 tournaments. They got the bronze, which is actually the highest I think USA's really ever going to achieve in the World Championship, because that's right smack dab in the middle of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I don't think many solid American players are going to wind up playing on that U.S. team. But still, though, that's weird, though, when you do point that out. And it is true, though. You have seen USA have some great teams in the World Juniors, but how many times have they actually medaled in that tournament? Not all that often. They've gotten silver a lot, mostly because they've always had to play second fiddle to Canada, but that's what you got to do when you're playing the team that invented the damn sport. And every now and again, they'd sneak in a gold. Nowadays, it's kind of like, wow, we can't even beg for a medal at this point in time. It's been really ridiculous in recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the roster that Team USA has, Team USA is a stacked roster. They have 3 phenomenal goalies, and they just laid a giant goose egg.
Yep. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering when was the last time Team USA won any major international championship, it was the World Junior Championship with Shane Gostisbehere on the team. That's a little ways ago, that last time they won anything major.
I mean, it's just a shame to see it. I mean, like, I would love to sit here and be, oh, yeah, Team USA this, Team USA that. I can't say that. The teams that are out there, for the most part, are better.
But look at it this way, though. If Team USA does lose tonight to Canada, worst thing happens, and the USA is most likely not making the playoffs, and the Czech Republic-USA game is nothing more than bottom barrel BS. We do have Team North America to carry the banner on. Why? Because Team North America has been lighting it up. And yes, they did lose to Russia last night, but is that attested to how the team played? No. Matt Murray did not have a great game, to say the least. He let in 4 goals. That's not the best night he ever had in the world, but he'll rebound from that.
Right.
But also, think to yourself, Matty, Matt Murray, how many of those goals were his fault?
Not all of them were his fault, really.
None of them, really. They were playing poorly in front of him, Matty. They really were. They were playing. It's like they lost their energy. All of a sudden, all their speed just went away. They were playing sloppy defensively in their own zone, bad turnovers. It's like that. The youth came to the forefront in terms of maturity, in terms of just making lots of mental errors, and it resulted in there was 2 goals and within a couple seconds of each other, 3 overall within a 2-minute and 30-second span. That was really and that's what Team Russia does. Just like the Capitals with Alex Ovechkin, right? Or even the Red Wings.
Well, now it's Team Russia with Alex Ovechkin.
Right. They pounce. They score lots of goals really quickly on you, right? But all that being said, you make the goalie change. You bring in Gibson. You change the momentum of the game. It was a great time to have Gibber get into the game, get his beak wet. You like what I did there?
I did.
And get some experience, because they will go back to Matt Murray in their next contest. There's no doubt about that. But let me just finish my point. The ultimate thing I'm saying here is that you got to still give this game as a check mark to North America, because they could have easily given up, especially winning that first game against Finland. Then they come back and you're down 4-1. All right, we'll just play for the next game. They never quit in that game to the last seconds, and they could, if it wasn't for Bobrovsky, they would have tied up that game.
And that was my point I was going to bring up, was that Sergei Bobrovsky single-handedly won that game for Team Russia, because Russia stacked the lead up on Team North America in the second period, and he held that lead strong, only giving up 1 more goal in the whole night, and that was to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins of the Edmonton Oilers, and that was a power play goal nonetheless. But not only that, though, the Air Canada Center erupted twice. Why? Because Austin Matthews scored, and then to add to it, not only did he score, Morgan Riley scored as well. Both of them Toronto Maple Leafs. I can tell you right now, if that's a testament to anything, this Toronto team's not going to be fun to play against this year by any stretch of the imagination. Seeing goals like that, Austin Matthews' goal was absolutely stunning. It was
very
beautiful goal. And Riley's wasn't bad either. That was a pretty one, too, that he got by Bobrovsky, which you have to, because if Bobrovsky's on his game, it's hard to score on him.
Stunning, as in stunning Steve Austin?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a hell yeah on that one.
Well, speaking of hell yeah. Now, speaking of goals, there's been 29 goals scored in this tournament, gentlemen, so far since it began. 28 different goal scorers of those 29 goals. The only 2-goal scorer, a guy on Team Europe, Draisaitl.
Leon Draisaitl.
Yep. And that just goes to show the talent in that man and the hidden talent in Team Europe that, they really sneak up on you.
Yeah, that is interesting when you see what happened with Team Europe on that one. They just all of a sudden just pulled victory after victory here, just stunning the hockey world. Like Rob said, tricked everybody into thinking that they weren't good, and all of a sudden, hey, they decided to play actual hockey, and now the rest of the group's going to pay for it. But anyway.
It seems like it was a plan. Like they even showed the camera on a couple players like, yeah, they didn't see us coming. We fooled them.
Might see that in Edmonton this year. Just saying.
So the winner of the World Cup is D's Nuts. Ha! Got him! All right. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to talk about the World Cup, and we'll go through around the league with some other topics that are hitting the stream here in the NHL's World Cup of Hockey, as well as we'll talk a little bit of something about what happened with Shane Gostisbehere as well, giving out a little bit of a nice little gift to a fan. We'll get to that all on the other side. But first, I want to talk to you guys about Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants. They're located in 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. You can give them a call at 215-369-3300. If you need your tax taken care of and you need all that stuff so that the IRS doesn't come knocking on your door taking all your stuff, you want to go to Gibson Mayer LLC, because the last thing you want is to deal with the IRS. I don't think anybody really wants to, quite frankly.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure nobody does.
Are we talking about like the government agency or the wrestler?
No, not Urinar Shyster. I like what you said there, but no, not Bray Wyatt's father. Anyway,
Is that
yeah,
wow?
that's Bray Wyatt's daddy. I mean, that's that is Bray Wyatt's daddy. And also Bo Dallas' daddy, too, because they're both brothers, strangely enough. A little bit of wrestling knowledge. That's a little foreshadowing later on in the show. But anyway, this is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. We'll be right back after this. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300. 3300 or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com. Hey, do you consider yourself the next Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, or Jordan Spieth? Well, head on out on November 5th at Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey for 820radio.com's first ever Real Talk Invitational. $125 per person to enter, teams up to 4 members, and it includes all you can eat and drink, and contests including longest drive, putting competition, closest to the pin, and the hole-in-one contest. Once again, it's November 5th at Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey. The guys here at h2dware.com hope to see you there.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
It's morphin' time! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. And have you ever wanted the ultimate driving experience? Well, then go to BMW of Atlantic City. They're easy to get to. They're minutes off of exit 37 of the Parkway. They are located at 6037 Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. And you can give them a call at 609-568-9200. You can reach them online at www.bmwofatlanticcity.com. Also, by the way, check to see if they're having any monthly specials. BMW of Atlantic City.
I don't like how you said reach them. It sounded too pervish for me. You can reach them. We like Sandusky reach them. Is that what you're talking about?
No, not reach around.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to shower with them. Jesus. Anyway. All right.
I'm just busting your gayuns. Come on.
I know. You know. Fazul. Anyway, moving on. So, bada boom, real guy in the room. All right, moving on. I swear to God, that was the last one. All right. Bullshit. But anyway, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We're talking about the World Cup of Hockey. But before we do have a comment on our Hockey Happy Hour link on Facebook. And
Yeah, if you don't like that link, you better find it and like it.
yes, you will, or we will find you, and we will kill you.
Post a lot of good stuff on there.
Absolutely. The awkward silence. Okay, moving on. So, the comment is stating is,
I got nothing. I had nothing there. I was like, yeah, it's a great fan page. If you love hockey, you got to love it, yada, yada. And I was like, if you don't like it already, I don't have any words for you. You're an idiot. You're a stupid idiot.
hold on. Don't we have a word for people like them?
Yeah.
Scumbags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to bring it.
And you better like it.
I don't know what it is, but that page has it.
Yeah.
All right, so the comment says, I wish Team North America would come through to win it. Show veterans who's boss. That's from Ash Loster. I think that's how you say that last name. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Great
Sorry,
point.
Ash, but Team Sweden's going to win it all.
I don't know. From what I've seen, even in a loss from North America last night, it's speed kills, man. And they have speed, and more speed.
Sweden's got some speed, too, so don't let that fool you, too. So don't forget. I said it here. I said it from the start of the tournament. Before the tournament started, Team Sweden's going to win this thing.
Yes, we know. You got an opinion like an asshole. Okay, we got it.
Do you think?
Well, at least I picked the team that's not going to get eliminated.
Now, that hasn't happened yet. They could still beat Team Canada tonight.
They could. Will they? That's a tough question.
Do you think both Sweden and North America oust Russia, and they're the two teams that move on?
I think
Group
so.
A?
I would love to see that. I think that would make a very entertaining medal round.
Yeah, really would.
Well, that is going to be an interesting battle between that. But we're going to talk about some topics that were going around the hockey world, which is all based around the World Cup. So, Rob, what have you got that's going around the World Cup news?
Well, I mean, first off, I made a little mention to it before with Team Sweden. Really surprising opening round game holding off Team Russia. And it was surprising because they did it without King Henrik in that preliminary round game of the World Cup of Hockey. I think, it speaks volumes about the squad. Do you know what the latest is with Ken Henrique? Will he start tonight?
Not from anything that I've seen, but I can look that up for you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Definitely get my back on that. Moving on, we got Sabres forward Ryan O'Reilly replaces Stars forward Tyler Seguin due to injury on Team Canada's World Cup roster.
Rob,
Yes.
NHL.com is saying that King Henrique will be starting tonight for Team Sweden.
Cool. Which even bolsters their chances. They're going against Finland. Is that correct?
Finland.
Yeah.
So the game is about to start in a few minutes.
Yeah, that's going to be a dominant Swedish victory. But who knows? I mean, we've thought a lot of things about with the matchups in Team Europe that have gone by the wayside. So, but you can chalk it up 2-0 for Team Sweden. Here's another kind of entertaining news. Rock legend Lenny Kravitz will now headline the World Cup Celebration of Champions concert on September 23rd.
That's interesting.
Here's some fun news coming again from NHL.com. Brandon Dubinsky and Jack Johnson have been replaced by forward Kyle Palmieri and defenseman Dustin Byfuglien.
They got to try to because
You got to shake something up here, and I think bringing in Palmieri is a good move.
Tortorella was an idiot. Now, I'm not a big fan of Byfuglien. It's well documented, but you should not have scratched him for that opening round game. I think you talk about that good defense, and then you take one of your best defenders and you scratch them. Like Tortorella's an idiot. But anyway.
You know what it probably was? I bet you Byfuglien and him had a little bit of a problem with each other. I wouldn't be
Probably.
surprised because be it from Tortorella to let his personal issues with someone get in the way of professionalism.
Hard head to hard head? No, I get it.
Yeah.
That's a great assessment, man.
Well, me personally, I don't mind Tortorella, but I think Dustin Byfuglien's a little overrated. And I think that Team USA had a much better defensive core without him. When you're not scoring goals, your defense is always going to look bad.
Here's the thing.
True.
I'm a well-documented Dustin Byfuglien hater. I think he's a piece of crap, and I think he's the biggest scumbag on the face of the planet. But
Just tell us how you really feel.
well, I like to. I'm an emotional kind of guy.
I see that.
You know. But anyway, the one thing that I will give Dustin Byfuglien credit for, though, is he is a clutch player.
Yeah.
He comes through when you least expect it. The Flyers found that out the worst possible time to find that out in 2010. And the same thing that the Jets pull. Every time you look like you're going to beat the Jets, Byfuglien scores a goal on you. Like, we just had these bastards beat. What the hell was that? You know?
Right.
And that's another experience that the Flyers had to deal with too, by the way. But still, that's my point. Byfuglien is a clutch player, and when you least expect him to strike, he strikes.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that, no matter what your defensive core is statistically or chemistry-wise with or without him, you have to think that clutch player could be your ace in the hole at the end of the day.
I'm not doubting our partner over here, Brian, but I mean, 2 of those 3 goals against Team Europe were just horrible defensive displays by Team USA. So I don't see how their defensive core could be better without him.
I mean, Jack Johnson really isn't much of a defensive defenseman.
Right.
Well, that's
If you
been
bring in
proven.
Dustin Byfuglien, and he brings physicality, he brings a little bit of good defense
Right.
with him. So maybe that's just what they need. They need to get back to that physical play, and maybe bringing in a guy like Byfuglien will help get that physical play going again. And Kyle Palmieri he's Kyle Palmieri.
Because I got 2 words for their defense in that game against Team Europe: soft and sloppy. Because you call me Poppy. You know what I mean? Honestly, they really need to shore that up, and they have to shore it immediately tonight in a tough test against Team Canada.
They
No doubt.
absolutely have to. And you know what? It's going to be a very interesting. I actually want to know, does anyone know who's starting for Team USA tonight? Because I'm very intrigued because Johnny Quick started the last game. So I'm wondering if he may not put Johnny Quick in goal. He
Hang
may
on, I'm
go
still
with
on
somebody
NHL.com.
else.
I'll find out for you.
In my opinion, I think you still got to stick with Quick.
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but
Right.
it's Tortorella, and he's very unpredictable with how he likes to oh, well, you were that bad in that game. I don't want you on my team right now. You know?
Right.
Because that's how Tortorella is. He's very hot-headed, and he likes to make changes that are sometimes very ill-conceived.
No.
Like, yeah, I know. Stunning, right? Tortorella makes a change based on how he feels about somebody. not based on professionalism whatsoever.
Right.
Well, Corey Schneider is going to be scratched.
Okay.
Goalie Jonathan Quick is expected to start after allowing 3 goals on 17 shots against Team Europe, so it's going to be Quickie.
All right, so Quickie's going in. All right, then. All right, you know what? That's a good thing. You have to stick with the goalie that brings you to the dance. And quite frankly, Jonathan Quick is the best goalie Team USA has right now. No offense to Ben Bishop. No offense to him whatsoever.
That's what I was trying to think. Yeah,
But-
Ben Bishop.
But I do like Johnny Quick, and I do think he should be He's got that veteran presence. He's been in big-time game situations before. He's faced elimination on multiple occasions. Just like a look at both of the Los Angeles Kings runs, and you can figure that out. But
I hated those years.
I think he's the best choice, quite frankly. No offense to Ben Bishop, but still, you go with Johnny Quick tonight.
No, Jonathan Quick is a better goalie of the 3 guys that are on this roster, and I agree to scratching Corey Schneider. I agree to starting Jonathan Quick. You're facing one of the toughest teams in the tournament. You got to put your best out there.
Yeah, put your best foot forward. You have to.
I mean, it's a 1A, 1B type situation. I mean, Ben Bishop has done a lot for the Tampa Bay Lightning. There's no doubt that he could, play very steadily between the pipes for Team USA. But you got to think about the experience that Quick has had in the 2 cups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When situations on the line, highlight game. That's who you kind of want you want to go with the experience there.
And you know what? I like it. And you want to know why I like it? Let's rewind the tape a few years back to the Stanley Cup playoffs. San Jose Sharks had a 3-0 lead on the Los Angeles Kings. Quick woke up after that 3rd loss, and they were not able to score on him after
He can
that.
rebound from failure.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Big
That's a good
time.
point. That's
Big
a good point.
time.
That's a good point. Now, let's say Team USA squeaks their way into the next round, right? And Jonathan Quick, has a subpar game tonight or an average game tonight and a subpar game against Team Czech Republic. Then in the next round, I could see going to Ben Bishop. That would be the scenario that I think that would work out, where it just Quick can't get his game. You're talking, this is a short turnaround. This tournament's very quick.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
We spent too much time together.
Yes. One other news note I want to announce to the public, too, just yesterday before that Team North America, Team Russia game started, defenseman Aaron Ekblad was scratched with an upper body injury. I'm going to check out the status of his injury currently now, but it's a huge loss for Team North America and their defense.
Agreed. But while you do that, I'm going to real quick jump back to Jonathan Quick topic and say Jonathan Quick is only going to be as good as the defense plays in front of him. And if they decide to play another slow, sloppy game like they did against Team Europe, Team USA is probably more than likely going home.
The main goal, though, is that even if – and you are right. Goalie is only as good as the defense that plays in front of him. But one thing I will say is that may not necessarily ring true tonight just for this one particular game, because that might be the night where Quick is – he understands, like, okay, this is do or die. I got to stop everything coming my way. And he might just be able to stand on his head and single-handedly get a win for Team USA, as hard as that is against a team like Team Canada. But it is possible to do it maybe once. You can't do it again, but you can at least do it one. You face them 10 times, you do it one time. You'll never do it again.
Yeah, but you can't have your goalie facing 50 shots.
No. I'm not saying
your defense has got to get up there, and they got to play tight.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. That's not ideal. I don't ever want to see that happen. But I'm just saying that don't underestimate Johnny Quick being able to possibly snag a game for Team USA.
No,
He
not
could
at all.
possibly
Not
do
at all.
that.
I've seen him steal games multiple times on his own.
Yeah.
But on top of that, offense has got to score.
Oh, yeah.
Defense has got to play tight in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? I also like the fact that they added Kyle Palmieri.
I love that.
Because one thing Kyle Palmieri can do, he has a nose for the net.
Yes,
he does.
It doesn't matter what the situation is. He always scores.
He's got a little feistiness in him, too. He can play physical. I loved him in Anaheim, and I was looking forward to the year that he got traded to have him have a breakout season, which he did. I think he wound up going 20-20. I think he wound up having like 40-plus points total on the year. But Palmieri, he's an asset. He's an asset for the Devils. And you know what? I think he can really come in and maybe help spark this team. Whether it be a big hit or a shot from the point or wherever they're going to have him playing, on top of circles, wherever. It doesn't matter.
And that's the funny thing, because you see it with your own personal experiences. You had the experience of him being on your team, so you know what it's like to be on the positive side. Unfortunately, me and Rob know what it's like to be on the negative side of that,
Yes,
because
sir.
how many times have the Flyers tried to put the Devils away and freaking Kyle Palmieri scores a goal? You know, it happens all the time.
Gotta
Like,
love
seriously.
Kyle. I do.
Of course you do.
I still wish he was a Duck. I really do.
I
Him and Bonino.
I found out what the upper body injury is for Ekblad.
Oh, no.
Concussion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was shoved hard
no.
into the boards by Finland's Leo Komarov on Sunday. He'll most likely miss the rest of the World Cup and his return to South Florida. And has returned to South Florida to be further evaluated by the Panthers team doctors. So, like, the Panthers already knew he was going to miss a bulk of training camp due to the World Cup. You know, now it's questioning the rest of camp moving into the season for Ekblad. I mean, they do say that the he's okay after the concussion. That's all they're saying. They're not saying it's mild, severe, that he's just okay at this point. So come with a little better adjectives, you darn media reporters, because that's what we do here. You know, I mean, we're all the media. We're supposed to be one happy family, but screw you. I need more details than this. Hockey's tough. It's tough to get injury details.
But you know what? It's tough on any sport because it's up to the coach to give out the details. And if they don't want to give the details out, they're not going to.
True.
Well, you see it in football all the time.
What I'm really concerned about, though, with Aaron Ekblad right now, him going back to Florida, and you pointed this out, him missing camp now, is he going to return for the regular season for Florida, and is he going to be 100% come that time period? That's the real question you got to ask now. So now Florida has – yeah, and that's another one where people can talk about, well, should they play in this tournament, because look what just happened to Aaron Ekblad. You know, he did suffer a concussion, whether it's mild or severe. People will always say, well, yeah, but look what happened. Now Florida might be out one of their top players right now.
Right.
You know, is that true or not? We don't know. We don't know how severe the concussion is, but people could use that as an excuse. My personal opinion is you still don't stop play, but that is a tough loss for Florida right now. They really do not want to lose Aaron Ekblad right before the regular season.
No, I don't think we're going to see – I don't think Ekblad's going to miss any time. He's got a couple weeks before the season starts, takes it easy, skates with the team in Florida. And I think we'll wind up seeing him come opening night for Florida.
I'm just saying, you know, you got to be careful with concussions.
No,
you
I
know?
get it. No, I'm with you 100%. That's why you just take it easy with him. You don't rush him back. Take him off the Team USA roster, send him back to Florida, and then just have him just relax and take it easy and get ready for the season.
Yep.
Yeah. It's always going to be the question that comes up with these tournaments, because there's never a right time in the year to do it. You know, if you were to do the World Cup, say, after the hockey season, how many hockey players would actually participate in it, coming off a full NHL season, especially those that went all the way to the Cup finals? You know, you run in it with the World Baseball Classic happening during spring training. Now, the difference between the World Baseball Classic and this World Cup of Hockey is that, albeit those are intense games, baseball a less physical game in general, and they even take it down a notch in terms of, you know, like, say, a play at the plate or anything like that. What we talked about it last show, this World Cup of Hockey has been intense, it's been brutal, it's been hard-hitting, because all these players, and we have a lot of, you know, foreign players playing in the NHL, it's an opportunity to play for your flag, to play for your country, and that a lot of times that's more important than their club, and you're going to see injuries like this happen. It's unfortunate, but the trade-off, I think, is better than the detractant.
You see, I agree with you there, because the World Cup isn't going to be every year, and if they're taking hockey out of the Olympics, it's every 2 years.
It's going to be every 2 years.
So you're not going to be playing for it every year. So you figure you're going to go all out. You're going to give your best for that year of the World Cup, and then next year, you know, it's focus on your team. Not every player is going to get to represent their country every year.
I think it should be every 4 years, like the Olympics, because then you cut it down where it's 1/4 instead of 1/2 chance of risk of injury, and then it puts that much more onus on playing to win for it.
Well, here's the weirdest thing. When you look back to the World Cup of Hockey's history, it took 8 years after 96 for there to be another World Cup. You know, 1996 when USA stunned the world and won the whole thing, and then 2004. 8 years. It took 8 years for them to have another World Cup of Hockey. That's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, it's very crazy. Well, it goes to show they're saying 2 now. Maybe that's just because that's the next one they have planned. But maybe it might not be regulatory like the Olympics where it's a standard every 4 years.
Right.
It might be whenever it fits best for, the NHL, the KHL, and all other organizations out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Very much. So now and one thing I did want to bring up to you before we were going to head to break, you did speak about how the injuries and stuff like that with the players and stuff like. One of the things that the European players too, I'm stunned not too many of them have been hurt because of how brutal this play has been. European hockey is not like that. It's not like it at all. If you've ever seen a European hockey game, for those who haven't, there is no hitting. There's very little to no hitting in it. It's a lot like a soccer game in a lot more ways. The ice is bigger, for one thing. It's wider, so there's more room to move. Mm-hmm. There's a lot more of that finesse play you see, which is why European players are very, very tricky with the stick. They know how to handle that better. It's just completely opposite of what North America is. North America sees hockey as, let's beat the living crap out of each other and try and score a puck into the back of the net.
Right. Well, here's my question for you, Maddie. So right now, this year's World Cup's taking place Toronto, North America. Yeah. Let's say they change venues like, World Cup to World Cup, and let's say they have it in Europe on the big sheets of ice. Do you see it adapting a more European style then and being less brutal?
I think they would have to, only because it would be almost it would be completely illogical to go out there and try and hit somebody, because you don't have as much room. You don't have as little room. You're not as condensed.
Right.
It's too wide open. If you're a defenseman, I can't go for a straight check on you. I have to take – I can't necessarily even take the man, really.
It would be like that one dude in Austin Powers. It's like, no! And it's the steamroller slowly coming for. Yeah, because Buffett's coming from like 50, 75 feet away. And he's like, no! And then he still gets checked into the boards.
That's a perfect reference, because he's going to stop what he's doing. He's just going to freeze. He's going to wait 5 or 10 minutes for Buffalo to get there and then just be like taking the hit.
At least he'll be prepared.
The announcers be like, well, that hit took about 5 minutes too long.
Hey, by the way, the other team scored too. Thanks, Bufflin.
Right.
Anyway, let's hope that doesn't happen tonight. But anyway, so with all that being said, we had some good topics here on the World Cup with our World Cup talk. And we're not completely done with it. We still got a couple more topics, I think, left. No, we got none. But we do have a Shane Gostisbehere one that we'll be talking about on the other side.
Absolutely. And the poll results. Who's going to win tonight, Team USA or Team Canada?
And the poll results, of course, as well. And also, I want you guys to think about it. What was your top 3 most anticipated season as a hockey fan? As a Flyers fan for you, as an Anaheim Ducks for you, Brian, and for me as a Flyers fan, what was our 3 most anticipated seasons as fans? Couldn't wait for the season to get going.
This one.
We'll all talk about that on the other side. But first, I want to tell you guys about the Sports Outlet. They are for all your sporting needs, and they're located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-939-2030. You can email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com. We are the Hockey Happy Hour, and we will be right back after this.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com. Hey, do you consider yourself the next Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, or Jordan Spieth? Well, head on out on November 5th at Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey for A2DRadio.com's first ever Real Talk Invitational. $125 per person to enter, teams up to 4 members, and it includes all you can eat and drink and contests including longest drive, putting competition, closest to the pin, and the hole-in-one contest. Once again, it's November 5th at Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey. The guys here at A2DRadio.com hope to see you there.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
Bada boom, realest guy in the room. How you doing? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here at Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. And we are brought to you by Liberty Event Rentals. They're located at 2154 East Cambria Street in Philadelphia, PA. You can give them a call, 267-314-7368. They got tables, chairs, tents, linens, anything you need for any of those special events you got coming up. They'll pick it up. They will bring it to your location. They'll set it up there. And then, after they leave, they will come back and take it all back down and take it away with them. Although they won't throw away your garbage.
Yeah, so don't let them pick up your trash.
Yes.
So they're not going to take Dustin Bufflin away.
No, sadly.
Okay.
Just be a litter bug. We'll just leave it there.
You see, I wouldn't mind them taking him away, though. I'm not a fan of his, but I don't hate him. He does get under my skin when I watch him play, though.
Team USA needs him. I don't.
That's the truth.
Yes.
And they are also located at www.libertyeventRentals.com. All right. So now that that's out of the way, time to go into a little knowledge on Shane Gostisbehere. He did something pretty special for a fan of his, Rob. What exactly did he do?
Absolutely. Well, it's his family, while he's away playing for Team North America, sent a nice gift to an ailing fan. A Flyers supporter received special World Cup delivery after her hospital stay. And bringing up the story here as I speed right past it on NHL.com, you can check out this article. Joyce Kettleberger sparked an unexpected friendship last December that gave her an extra boost during a difficult time. Recently home from a short hospital stay after a major heart attack in early September, Kettleberger from southern New Jersey had a gift waiting for her on behalf of Philadelphia Flyers defenseman Shane Gostisbehere's family. She says, and I quote, "I had my Shane t-shirt on because I wear it around the house, and a package came, and I opened it up, and it was a woman's shirt with Team North America on the front, and it said Gostisbehere on the back." I mean, it's not much, but I mean, I think that's just good reaching out to the fans, you know, especially a supporter. And she had tweeted out her crazy reaction to a goal from one Shane Gostisbehere, and they've had a relationship via, or at least her husband Bill had a relationship with him on Twitter there, and I think it's just a good heartwarming story. I mean, that's why Shane Gostisbehere is going to feel great in Philadelphia, because Philadelphia athletes always take care of their own, even if they're not even playing in Philadelphia, like a la Mike Trout. always takes care of, his fans here in Milford, New Jersey, Philadelphia and beyond. So just really heartwarming story I wanted to bring to the show today.
Yeah.
Good for you, Ghost. You the man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a great story. It's a heartwarming story. You want to see these guys that are making the money that they're making, giving back to the community, giving back to the people that need it, giving back to the fans who basically pay your paycheck. I mean, come on.
It is a good thing, and it's great to see that kind of, thankfulness, that gratefulness is being established
Ooh.
early from Shane Gostisbehere. You see that in a player who is going to be in Philly for a while. Fingers
hope.
crossed.
Right.
He's going to be in Philly for a while.
They actually
and it's great
text
to
with
see.
each other too.
Oh,
it's
wow.
not even just on the Twitter. Yeah, it's Claude Giroux jumped on it too. He invited them to his bowling fundraiser event.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Now, for anyone out there who thinks the Flyers are a bunch of scumbags, you're a scumbag.
Right.
You're a scumbag for thinking, and you're probably a Devils fan. So anyway,
Scumbags.
yeah, all of them.
Well, I mean, with both Gostisbehere and Sean Couturier on Team North America, it seems logical that a lot of Flyers fans are pulling for Team North America if they're not rooting for Giroux on Team Canada. Hey, you could go out and buy this, but this is a shirt directly from the player. Like that's awesome.
It's special, It's one of those things where that player, you were in his heart for that moment,
Well, it's not even just that. It's more. He made that woman's day.
Yeah,
He made that woman's
absolutely.
month. He made that woman's year. That's what it's about. That's what sports are all about.
Yeah, because being able to do something you love for a living, that's a privilege.
Yes,
and
it is.
that's given to you by your fans. You always give back to your fans, because if you forget it, then you've completely forgotten why the hell you started in the first place. It wasn't just for you. It was for everybody.
That's right.
I'm with you, Matty.
Now,
Amen.
on to
Testify.
oh, my brother, testify. All right. On to the top 3 most anticipated seasons. Now, I gave you guys a break. They let you thought about it on the commercial break, so I gave you guys enough time, I think, that to think of some time, a special moment, whether it was in childhood, adolescent, adult, it don't matter. What season, as a Flyers fan, Rob, me as a Flyers fan, you as a Ducks fan, Brian, that you were looking most forward to as a fan? So, I'll start it off. My season, 2007-2008, the season after the disaster that we had, because that team was back with a vengeance, and I saw the commercials for Danny B where he was shooting out the glass. I was like, that is cool. I can't wait to see Danny B on the Flyers. That is awesome. And sure enough, Mr. Playoff, he wound up pulling off some amazing tricks that year. It was great. That was a great year for me. Rob, next.
I was going to save this for number 2, but since it directly correlates to your number 1, I'll go with a year I was really anticipating was the 2006-2007 season. It was my first year as a Flyers season ticket holder. Peter Forsberg. We got Peter Forsberg back. This team's going to rule. We're going to overcome all the inequities that Lindros, because the two of them will always be tied together in that trade. Go to games, and by midseason, I couldn't even give the tickets away. They were horrible, and it was just. But going into that season, I really anticipated them making a run for the cup. It's like Forsberg. It's all about Forsberg, and I was just left severely disappointed, as well as many other Flyers fans out there.
Who
that was
wound
a
up
rough
winning
year.
the cup in 2006, 2007? I can't remember.
It was the Ottawa Senators, if I remember correctly.
No, I think it was the team that beat the Ottawa Senators.
No. Ray Emery led them all the way. He beat Buffalo and then went on to beat whatever team he had to face instead.
There was a Stanley Cup final that year. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot all
I
about it.
etched that out of my mind. Yeah, that would be the Anaheim Ducks.
Nah, yep. Which is kind of funny because not that season, but the 2007-2008 season, which Maddie was referring to, was one of my seasons looking forward to. It was the year after the Stanley Cup. They didn't change much with the team. Teemu Selanne had his cup. Niedermayer had his cup. Well, I think that was Niedermayer's 4th cup. This is 3rd or 4th. But you look forward to that. You're like, all right, defending Stanley Cup champs, let's get back there. Ducks got as far as the Western Conference Finals. lost to Detroit, which I believe that was the year that Detroit won.
Detroit won in 2008. They beat
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
So I believe it was a Game 7 that Anaheim wound up losing to Detroit in the Western Conference Final, keeping them from getting back to Stanley Cup Finals in 2007-2008. But that was a highly anticipated season after the Stanley Cup win.
Okay, my number 2. It'll be the 2011-2012 season after the actually, let me correct myself. I'm going to say it was the 2010-2011 season after the 2009-10 season, after the Flyers went all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals and got 2 games away from winning Lord Stanley's Cup for the hopefully one day the 3rd time the Flyers can hoist up the Stanley Cup. Sadly, they lost to Chicago, but I was so excited. I was going through hockey withdrawal all summer long, just waiting for the Flyers to get started. Unfortunately, that year didn't end so well for Philadelphia. We wound up getting all the way to the 2nd round of the Stanley Cup Finals, and we lost getting swept by the Boston Bruins. That was terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
After beating Buffalo, which was always fun to do, watching them beat Buffalo. But, damn, that was such a fun. And we won the division, too, that year. That sucked as well. We won the damn division, too, to go along with it.
Right.
Man.
To answer your earlier quandary, Brian, it was 4 cups that Scott Niedermayer won, 3 with the New Jersey Devils, 95, 2000, 2003, and then 2007. with
Okay,
the
I was pretty
Ducks.
sure it was 4, but I wasn't sure. Didn't want to.
I always like to prove a guy right on the show. You know what I mean?
I love it when people prove me right. It makes me feel good about myself.
Nice.
People helping people.
That's right.
People helping people.
That's right. That's right. My second one, I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm going to go back to 96, 97. Coming to, the big talk of the town was New York Rangers. Now they won the Cup in 94, and all my Ranger friends in high school were all talking shit to me, and I'm like, just wait what we're formulating. And we formulated the Legion of Doom, and going into that season, you just knew they were going to dominate, and they sure as hell did all the way up to the Stanley Cup Finals. We all know how that, turned out. But, I mean, they lost to a coach that, after all, you got to say probably Scotty Bowman's like the greatest coach in the NHL history, winning 3 Stanley Cups with 3 different teams. We had a little bit of a debate about that on Agree to Disagree this past week in terms of who's like the number 1 coach in all 4 majors. We just wanted to put down Scotty Bowman because, screw Scotty Bowman. He beat us in 97, but, Joe Quenneville could enter that conversation too. But
Al Arbor.
Al Arbor, yeah. 4, right?
4 straight with New York.
Yeah.
The Islanders, not the Rangers, folks.
Yeah.
Just letting everybody know.
Well, who do you think, Al Arbor or Scotty Bowman?
I would love to say Al Arbor, but I got to go Scotty Bowman. And the only reason why is that you're right. He's won Stanley Cup everywhere he's gone.
Right.
And he's been to the Stanley Cup Finals with almost every team he's ever coached.
Right.
It's like, what can you say?
And all the playoff appearances in between all 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry, I can't pick. As great as Al Arbor was, and he was great, and as good as Joel Quenneville has been over these last 5 years, getting Chicago 3 Stanley Cups, it's just I can't go against Scotty Bowman and everything he accomplished. It's unbelievable.
Right. So that was my number 2, the 96-97 season. Very much anticipated. Left a little shortchanged, though.
Yeah.
Better than 2006, though.
That is true.
Yeah.
Definitely better than 2006.
Yeah.
All right. Brian.
Well, I'm not going in any specific order, so this isn't really like my number 2 or my number 3 or whatever. The 2004 season, 2003-2004, the year after the Ducks wound up losing to the Devils in the Stanley Cup Final. Thought that maybe that team, you don't really do much again. You have that winner built. You got Teemu Selanne wasn't on the team then. You have Paul Kariya, Steve Rushin. You got your core group of guys. So I think they brought in Sergei Fedorov that year. Expecting to see this team go back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Nope. And that was okay. But you know what? Yeah. It was something to look forward to. They still put on an exciting year. Paul Kariya is always an entertaining player to watch. Didn't matter if he was in Colorado or Nashville or St. Louis. always an entertaining guy to watch. But the 2003, 2004 season that was another one that I was looking forward to.
You know what the weird part is that you and me were on the same wavelength there because that was my number one, 2003, 2004. And the reason why is Last Chance Flyers, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they had Jeremy Roenick, they had Johnny Leclerc was still on the team. I know Rob just perked up a little bit on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also still had Eric Desjardins was still on the team. Of course, we had Keith Primo was our captain. You know, and we all love good old Primo. They had Simon Gagne.
I wish Eric Desjardins was a Duck.
Yeah, Desjardins was
Desjardins was always he was always one of my favorite defensemen.
He's one of the best defensemen in Flyers history because of just even
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean he would be in Montreal's history as well. I would have to say, but it's just crazy. That team was so stacked. I mean, from everything. Tony Amonte. We had so many great players on that team. Old, but great players. And we went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And, of course, like every single time beforehand, the Flyers found a way to get eliminated. And they lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning, who won the damn Stanley Cup that year.
I'm sorry. That Tampa Bay Lightning was a great team.
It was a great team. I'm not taking anything away from that. It was a young, hungry, really good team.
Dave Andrechuk, Vinny Lecavalier at his best, Martin St. Louis.
Their goalie, Cabby Bolin, was really good that year, who was actually one of the last few remaining original Winnipeg Jets with Teemu Selanne, of all things, too.
Yep.
But the weirdest part of that is that Flyers team also looked like they had it all set up. They beat the New Jersey Devils, too. And that was just like, they beat the Devils? Like, the Flyers never beat the Devils, ever.
Right.
We always lose to the Devils. We beat them?
Right.
We're going to win the Cup this year. There's
Right.
no way in hell we can lose now. We beat the team that always beat us.
Right.
And we still lost. How the hell is that possible?
Tell me about it.
It was the same as when the Flyers lost to the Stanley Cup Finals to Chicago. The teams were just better. It's not anything against the Flyers. It's just the teams were better.
And then that would be my most anticipated. That was one of the more anticipated years because that was such a fun team. You'd see the team just build up, and all these great players were on there. It's like, how can we lose? We got all these great players on this team.
Sure.
No way in hell we're going to lose. Oh, and we had Recchi back too, by the way.
Right.
So that was another thing that also was like, yeah, Mark Recchi's back on the team. This is awesome.
I have his jersey somewhere.
Yeah, Recchi's the man.
Mm-hmm.
Who didn't love Mark Recchi back in the
I
day?
think I had
Everyone
Darian
loved
Hatchers, too.
Darian Hatcher, another great defensive player that we had back in the day, who also gave Sidney Crosby that wonderful little root canal, which was I still remember that today.
I'll always love Darren Hatcher just for that.
Yeah, just for that one hit. We'll always have a special place in our heart for Darian Hatcher.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, you're number one.
My number one's got to be 2009, 2010. We're coming off of Jeff Carter was a finalist for the Hart Trophy the year before. Mike Richards, captain. He himself, at the end of that season, was a Selke finalist. I just really like the makeup of that team. They were a complete team all around. Now, they kind of struggled a little bit during that season, which kind of brought down my anticipation. But again, first round matchup against D1 New Jersey Devils and winning that 4-1 and absolutely trouncing them. And then we all know where they went from there, going on to be one of the third team ever in all major sports at the time to come back from 3-0 down against the Boston Bruins, team of destiny. Ultimately in the end they did lose to a more superior Chicago Blackhawks team full of scumbags again. Two of my three resulted in, Stanley Cup final appearances with disappointments, but the anticipation, just being, part of the block parties down in Philadelphia, down in Broad and Patterson, and just enjoying that. It was just really good mojo in Philadelphia that I'm really hoping that it's starting to come back around again, and you're going to see it as these youngsters come up, anticipating this season and then especially anticipating next season because, I have a lot of hope for this season, but basically in the 2017-18 season, that's going to be a time where the Flyers are really going to wreck shop and maybe make that cup run where they lose in the finals again.
But then they come back next year and they win it. So they even it all out.
Either way.
There we go.
Whatever.
Yeah.
However it works out.
Yeah.
You guys must be really tired or something. I'm talking about the Flyers winning the Stanley Cup.
Really tired. What do you mean?
Deliria.
Deliria. Oh, okay. All right. So continue on with your delirium. I'm thinking the Ducks are going to go win the cup this year.
It's not delirium.
First
my
of all,
friend.
I have never said, and Rob can back me up on this. I have never stated that the Ducks will win the Stanley Cup this year. And you know what?
True.
With my luck, because I said that from the beginning, they're going to win the Stanley Cup this year. No, they're really not. All right. So this is probably the most anticipated, but the most heartbreaking season I've ever had as a Ducks fan. 2 years ago, when they were picked by everybody in hockey to win the Stanley Cup, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what? This team has it. Freddie Anderson's been great. You got Johnny Gibson, who made the roster out of camp. You have all these young guys on defense: Sammy Vatanen, Hampus Lindholm, Cam Fowler. An offense that got a little tough going, but once they got going, they got going. That was the first year with Ryan Kessler. We're going to the Stanley Cup final, baby. We're going to win. And then all of a sudden, the playoffs come. First round, no problem. Second round, no problem. Get to Chicago. Game 7 comes.
It's been a rough 2 years for you.
It's been a rough couple years for me as a Ducks fan.
Yeah, because, I mean, you could have, all your descriptions could have applied to last year, too.
Or even the year before that, we can even say the same thing when they lost
semifinals.
When they lost to the Kings.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that was strange because you think about that. Between the two teams, the Ducks were the better team.
Between both, absolutely.
Yeah, they were the better team, and the Kings. But you know what it was? The Kings just went on that magic run like the Flyers did when they came back down from 0-3. They did the exact same thing. Only difference is they actually took advantage of their destiny, whereas the Flyers totally bummed that one. But oh well.
Well, I mean, look at the bright side here. The 2 years that they lost to the Kings and the Blackhawks, yeah, they won the Stanley Cup. But last year when they lost to Nashville, thank God that trend didn't continue.
That is true, because Nashville did wind up losing. I actually thought, but crazy enough, though, after they beat Anaheim, I swear to God, I thought Nashville was going to the Western Conference Finals. I didn't know if they were going to win it, but I thought, like, oh, my God, watch them beat San Jose and watch them go to the Western Conference Finals and stun the whole world.
If Nashville had gone to win the Stanley Cup Finals, I would have called conspiracy theory or something.
He would be as blasted in the
Beat
NHL.
the Ducks, win a cup.
Yeah,
beat the Ducks and win a cup in Game 7. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yep,
Right.
absolutely. We would have said, hey, Flyers need to switch to the Western Conference just to beat them in the playoffs.
Right.
But anyway. All right, so those were our 3 most anticipated seasons as hockey fans. That was fun, going down memory lane. Not always the best of memories, but still. Anyway.
Yes, great.
Yeah. But anyway, when we come back, it'll be time to talk about some WWE wrestling. But before we get into all of that, I just want to let you all know about one of our sponsors being none other than BMW of Atlantic City. Have you ever wanted the ultimate driving experience? Well, then go to BMW of Atlantic City. They're located at 6037 Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 609-568-9200 or visit them on the web at www.bmwatlanticcity.com. We are the Hockey Happy Hour. We'll see you after this. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Hey, do you consider yourself the next Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, or Jordan Spieth? Well, head on out on November 5th at Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey for A2DRadio.com's first ever Real Talk Invitational. $125 per person to enter, teams up to 4 members, and it includes all you can eat and drink and contests including longest drive, putting competition, closest to the pin, and the hole-in-one contest. Once again, it's November 5th at Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey. The guys here at A2DRadio.com hope to see you there.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I don't know why I paused there, but anyway. Hey, if you guys ever wanted to talk about playing some golf, you ever wondered what it would be like to play some golf? Well, guess what? We got the Real Talk Invitational that'll be coming up at the Valley Brook Country Club. That'll be on November 5th. It's all you can eat and drink. It's $125 per person to enter. And it is an all-day event. The whole A2DRadio.com crew will be there. So, why don't you come on down, have some fun, play a few games. We got some contests that'll be going on. The Real Talk Invitational at the Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey at 200 Gulfview Drive. So, gentlemen, we've gone through the hockey. By the way, before we do that, I just want to say on the air, Brian, I forgot what it was like to be a team that was consistently in the playoffs. It's been a little bit,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
has been.
I am sorry, because I'm starting to remember the pain that you're going through every year, seeing your team dominate in the regular season and somehow blow it in the playoffs. You know, I forgot what that was like. It's been a long time since the Flyers have been able to do that. So,
Sure.
But yeah, I'm sorry about that. Actually, sympathy for that one on there. It's
I don't deserve sympathy.
You
I
don't
deserve a cup.
But yeah, but before we get into some WWE talk, let's go to the Twitter poll results. Robbie, what do we got?
Well, we asked you on Twitter at @HUDRadio_com who wins tonight's World Cup of Hockey 2016 matchup. Team USA, Team Canada. Huge game, 8 p.m. With 71% of the vote, the fans voted for Team USA, beating Team Canada.
America!
Daly's shaking his head.
America! That's right.
Just out of curiosity, how many votes?
200 views.
I can't-
250 votes.
Yeah, but roughly. I mean, a lot of people jumped in. I can't see the exact totals right now.
All right, that's fine.
But, yeah, a lot of people did chime in.
Dummies.
We the people.
They're voting with their
America.
heart and not with their head. They're voting with their heart, not with their head. But I mean, Team USA did play them very well.
In game 1 and then game 2, Canada came back and said,
Yeah,
"You ain't
true.
getting us again."
Yeah, true
Yeah,
that.
but they took a lot of really bad penalties, though.
You don't think that's going to happen again? I guarantee you. Guarantee you.
I'm not saying it's not possible.
Absolutely. Well, whatever you voted, thank you so much for voting. And our Twitter poll is brought to you by the BMW of Atlantic City dealership. They challenge its sales team. They must sell 100 vehicles, which means you save. Right now, lease a certified pre-owned elite 2016 BMW 320i with xDrive, just $299 a month for 36 months. The ultimate driving experience is closer than you think. BMW of Atlantic City, easy to get 2 minutes off of exit 37 on the Garden State Parkway, or check them out online, BMWAtlanticCity.com.
You didn't slam the thing down.
There you go.
All right.
All right. So now with that, transitioning us into some WWE wrestling talk. There you go, Brian.
I had to get in. Everybody else did it.
That's right. Get in on the action. Join the bandwagon. It's time for some WWE talk. And obviously, coming off of Backlash, SmackDown had a show. And
It was very fun.
yeah, but I wasn't there live. So
Doesn't matter.
I
It's still
can't-
fun.
I'm not saying it wasn't fun live. I was watching it from a TV set. So how should
It's
I
so
know?
different.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different experience. We know. We've been to events. We know what it's like.
Well, that was my first one, and I
Okay,
can't even
okay,
realize.
okay.
I'm talking to you. Relax.
All right.
It's very different. I didn't realize how different it would be. It's like now that I watched Raw last night, or parts of Raw last night, and I was just like, wow, it's just not the same.
No, it's not.
Once you see the magic behind it, and you're like, wow.
It's so amazing. Like the times I've gone to see SmackDown, I've seen SmackDown twice, and I saw Raw once, and it was amazing. And it was great because the one time I got to go see Raw, DX was there, which was awesome.
Nice.
That was cool. They were facing, and guess who their opponents was? It was Gene Snitsky and
That was a long time ago.
and Michael Knox. They were the two opponents that Triple H and Shawn were facing that night. That was a while back.
That was a long time. Gene Snitsky, or however you say it, Snitsky, or whatever.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy was still Intercontinental Champion, believe it or not, during that time period. Yeah, back in the day, man, the charismatic Enigma was still around. That was cool.
He wasn't even the charismatic Enigma in the WWE. He was only the charismatic Enigma in.
I know, but I call him
TNA.
that. I call him that anyway. Either that or I call him Mr. Extreme because that's what he called himself
yeah,
in
he was
2002.
the extreme one.
Yeah, but yeah, that was cool, man. When I went and saw Raw, and then I saw SmackDown, I saw Kurt Angle win the World Heavyweight title. Oh my God, that was a great night because no one saw him coming. No one saw Kurt Angle coming to SmackDown that night, and we got to all chant "You suck," and it was awesome.
No, what was
That
kind of cool was Jack Swagger had just signed his contract at 12 o'clock and made his SmackDown appearance
Oh really?
that night. So that was pretty cool. That was
cool.
cool to see.
That's cool. That's cool. So we kind of had that whole patriotic connection right there. You got to see Jack Swagger. I got to see Kurt Angle stunningly.
And that was actually kind of cool because, I was, being a 12-year-old and standing up with Jack Swagger there and getting to put my hand over my heart and go, "We the Pit." That was fun.
That was
cool.
fun. But nonetheless, though, on to what we saw last night on Monday Night Raw.
Really quick, I've never been to a live wrestling event.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, the closest thing I came to was back in the day. My dad belonged to Knights of Columbus, and they would have WrestleMania. Like I remember seeing WrestleMania 3 there on a big screen, and a bunch of wrestling fans. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, I've never. Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't think not even like a live event or. Maybe like a bunch of has-beens down in the Lakewood. Maybe I don't know, but
I've seen, I've gotten to see, when I was younger, I got to see, at Overbrook High School, they had a wrestling event there. I don't think it was a WWE event at all, but, Jimmy Snuka was there, and Chief Strongbow, and Supernova.
Might have been ECW back in the day.
Nah, it wasn't even ECW. I think it was just a wrestling event. I think it was, they have, what's it called? Not the House of Hardcore. It was,
The bingo hall.
It was like a I guess a retirement match, not a retirement match, but it was like a
town match.
no. I'm trying to think of how to call it. It was a specific brand. It was like, that event that's coming up in I think in AC, and all these retired wrestlers are going to be there.
Yeah.
It was kind of something like that.
Oh, okay. I got.
They had a big old Royal Rumble at the end. That was fun to watch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I've been to a few. I've been to 3 WWE events, been to 4 CZW events, and they're fun. If you ever get a chance, go to the CZW event over at the Skate Zone.
I was actually told about that by a buddy of mine.
It's fun.
Last night.
It is fun. They do some crazy shit. They really do on CZW. It is fun to watch.
I heard that.
It is. But anyway, speaking of which, though, we should probably think about, what we should do? We should probably, all 3 of us, think about heading over there in November. And the reason why is they do the thing called the Cage of Death.
ooh,
It is
that sounds
fun
good.
to watch. It is a cage of yellow wire. and they do some crazy stuff off of it. Some hardcore stuff you would never believe that they do. It is fun to watch.
Check that out.
It is cool. But anyway, enough about that. What we saw last night on Monday Night Raw, it was great, man. I was watching some cool stuff there. The tag team confrontation between the New Day, the Club, and Enzo and Big Cass. You know, that was a cool matchup. And even Sami Zayn joined in on the action with that little big old tag team war they had going on over there.
Yeah, well, he only got involved because he's got a thing with Chris Jericho right now.
Yeah, they want
True.
to build that up for Clash of Champions. Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's an idiot. But anyway.
But it was really cool seeing, like, you know, it was like a true, like, 5-on-5 man, like, tag team. That's real old school WWF, I will say, because that's when it dated back to.
Yeah, it hasn't. They haven't done anything like that in a long time.
You could just see it when you had, like, all 5 of the winners hanging over the ropes together, like, holding their arms up, and then all the 5 dejected bums.
It reminded me of the days where they had the big stables. You know, they don't have those anymore. You
Right.
know,
Right.
Remember a stable? What? Some of the little kids who've been watching WWE says, like, "What's a stable?" Well, I'll tell you, Johnny. You see, what it is it was usually a group of 5 to 6 wrestlers, and usually they were either main event to mid card to lower card talent, and they would dominate a roster. That's what a stable was back in the day. They don't have them anymore, man.
Stallions.
They do not have them anymore. They should bring them back.
I totally think they should bring it back.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the Wyatt family was a stable.
In a way, but it was only like
The New Day's a stable.
it's only 3 people though. I'm talking about.
I mean-
I'm talking about like stables that were like 5 to 6 big, 5, 6 deep. You know, Nation of Domination. You know, D-Generation X after Shawn had left, and the NWO back in the day.
I was just about to
man.
say
Yeah, well, the
NWO.
NWO was crazy, but you know, you get my point.
Is that the New World Order or the New Wentz Order? What are we talking here?
A New World Order.
Yeah.
No Eagles here. Anyway, but yeah, man, that
Un-American. No, sorry.
this is a hockey show.
Yeah, I get
There's
it.
no need for American stuff around here. It's all Canadian.
I attacked you on
Anyway,
FDN. I'm done.
Wrap us in a maple leaf.
Yeah, right?
Put me in a red and white flag. Put a maple leaf up my butt and send me to Canada. And the Headman's joined us in the studios at the perfect time.
Yeah, buddy.
But anyway, so
He walked in at an awkward time.
awkward but funny time. You know.
But Raw as a whole last night was really good. I mean, mind you, I'm flicking between Eagles, Bears, Team North America, Team Russia. I'm watching the Mets Braves game. I was just on overload when it came to sports last night. But I made time for Raw. I think I had a great opening. They handled the Seth Rollins cliffhanger from last week very well, where they pitted both infractors against each other. Rusev versus Seth Rollins, and then of course, you saw the interaction at the end and having a steel cage match. I haven't seen a steel cage match on a non-pay-per-view in quite some time.
Me too.
To try to keep people from interfering, and it still didn't work.
I didn't see it. What happened?
They basically beat the crap out of each other inside a steel cage. That's kind
Yeah,
of
but
what
he said
happens.
to keep people out.
Yeah, so what happened was for the most part, nobody interfered. It was a great match. Like I said, a lot of people were cheering Rollins after they boo him when they come out, and these people need to get a clue. And then Raw, what you call it?
Owens?
Just lost no, not Rollins.
Owens.
No, the others. Yeah.
Rusev?
Not Rusev.
Reigns?
Reigns, thank you. After Reigns beat Kevin Owens in the steel cage by narrowly getting to the mat, because he was climbing over the cage as Owens was sneaking out the door. He got to the ground just first, and then you saw Rusev come out and try to F up Reigns, and then you saw Rollins come out to try to bridge the gap, and I'm almost thinking, are they going to work out like a Shield reunion?
I was thinking that
Not
myself
really.
in an odd way. I was thinking, like, are they going to try and make Reigns and Rollins a
Because
tag
he
team again?
he kind of came out to defend him a little bit. I mean, maybe he was coming out more to shit on Kevin Owens.
Well, Triple H and Shawn got back together with D-Generation X in that same kind of fashion. So, you never know. But
Dean Ambrose isn't champ anymore,
one other thing,
Well, are
though.
they going to bring him from SmackDown over to Raw, or vice versa?
Who knows?
One other thing, though. Triple threat for the women's title. Did we not call that Like, I called that last week.
Sort of.
Yeah, all 4 shoulders were down. So, yeah, that had to happen. So
Right.
now, triple threat match. Sasha, Bailey, Charlotte for the women's title.
Oh, it's so hot.
Yes.
They're so hot.
Sasha, baby. Awesome.
Good wrestlers,
All right,
too.
but anyway. All right, folks. So that will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We hope everyone had a good time. It's time for last call and send this one on out. But first, we want to let you know who sponsors the studio as well as everything we do here on A2DRadio.com. That's BMW of Atlantic City. They're located at 6037 Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. Give them a call at 609-568-9200. Visit them on the web at www.bmwofatlanticcity.com. We are the Hockey Happy Hour. We will see you guys next week on A2DRadio.com.